The Steve Nagy Award 4 times, taking on Danny Wiseman.
Well, do nice guys finish last, or?
Well, he didn't exactly blow him away in practice, Earl.
This is true, but now, you know, it's amazing how all of a sudden a guy can find something when the lights go on and see what Parker can do. I didn't know these guys were all such big hams, did you?
Well, they watched you, for crying out loud.
Yeah, right. Well, let's see if Danny Wiseman can respond. This guy, again, I'll say it again because I truly believe he's one of the best shot makers on the tour. And under pressure, he loves this kind of a situation. He just loves it, eats it up.
Well, trips the 4, leaves the 10, still checking that approach.
That's the lane. If he has a problem, I think it'll be on this lane because he's going more direct with the ball. And when you go more direct to the pocket, speed control is always the most important thing. If you're a hair short or a hair hard with the ball speed, it's either going to go through the nose or it's going to be a washout. So he has to be very careful that he doesn't set it down early or get soft with the speed on lane 4.
He certainly bowled well against Parker in match play, like you say, though. There was a different building and everything else. Well, well, that 10-pin bounced out of there.
Yeah. Well, at least he got through that 10-pin without falling down or slipping or anything, and that's what he was, I think, waving his arm around about. Hey, I finally made a 10-pin without hurting myself.
Stands all the way to the back of the approach here. It takes 4 steps. And he's only 5'10". He's not a big man.
And watch how smooth he starts, though. The short push away, the real short first step. Look at the balance.
Well, that's where he was the whole first game.
Yeah, I think he'll get back and line up on the right-hand lane, too. It's just a matter of getting the speed right. Sometimes your opening shot, it tends to be a little soft also.
Well, I think it's important for Parker to get out with a few strikes, get ahead in this match.
No question. If he lets Danny Wiseman get lined up and get locked in again, it's going to be over in a hurry.
Oh! The old bucket crumbler.
A bucket crumbler, yeah. Very briefly, let me say that we had a different format this week. All the players bowled 10 games each day. 2 10-game blocks of qualifying. They cut to the top 20 instead of the top 24, and they bowled 20 games of match play. So when you see their match play record as a graphic on the screen and it happens to say 12-8, don't wonder where the other 4 games are. They only bowled 20 games of match play in this tournament.
And that young man we saw in the wheelchair, Parker gets one more, is a friend of Parker's, Josh Hyde. Parker Bohn, 15 TV appearances, not bad. 15 match play appearances. Well, we'll get it right here. Dave Giantremont right behind him with 14. Got a note here, Earl, that our attendance here tonight is a little under 2,500. Sounds like 10,000.
Oh, it sure does. And these people are really enthusiastic. A little more ball speed there, Mike, and right there.
And it looked like he tightened up the line, got that one a little closer, a little more in.
I believe you're right. It just looked like he might have paralleled everything left a little bit. And if you do that, there tends to be a little more oil in the middle of the lane. That'd help a little bit. Speaking of oil, it's 36 feet down the lane, double oil in the heads. In other words, the first 15 feet, they double oil. We're bowling on Brunswick pins that weigh 3.6 and 3.7. 3 pounds 6 ounces, 3 pounds 7 ounces.
Trying to even this match in the 4th frame. Oh, boy, he loves that lane. Be sure to join us tomorrow night, October 19th, at the stroke of midnight for the finals of the LPVT's Delaware Columbia 300 Open. Alita Sill is the defending champion in that event. John Neighbor and, of course, Leila Wagner will be again calling all the action for you in that event.
Oh, we've got a match here now. Tell you what, Parker is very aggressive when he thinks he's got a good shot at it. He's had a lot of problems winning on television over the last couple of years.
He won a number of telecasts, I think like 12 or something, without winning until he won in Austin earlier this year.
Yeah, that's hard to take. You know, you're bowling well. You have to bowl extremely well. You're playing against the best bowlers in the world. You make the top 5, and then somebody blows you away. And that happens like 12 times in a row. That has to destroy your confidence.
Well, it play tricks on your mind anyway.
No question.
Oh, that hold?
Take a look at one of the best games on the tour physically. Parker Bohn's arm swing rates up there with a Dave Davis or a Jim Stephanies. Look at the free push away, real high, loose arm swing. You see the shoulders opening and then squaring at the bottom. And look where he is over that knee.
And look at that follow through. Just whistles past his ear. Danny down 20 now.
Here's a guy that chases the ball down the lane with his follow through. Well, that looked a little different also.
Yeah, didn't it?
I think they've got a little bit of an area out there, Mike. We should see some great scoring here because the players look like they both found something that they can create area to the pocket. In other words, if they get a little wide, it hooks back. If they pull a little bit, it sets up in the pocket. What a great match. Then there is a little bonus involved here, and Parker's sitting on it.
I was going to say, Spectre Lanes, the host center this week, will get 50 grand if one of these guys bowl 300 tonight in the TV finals.
Wouldn't that be fun to watch?
To even the match. To even the match. He does. Well, Danny Wiseman had 8 in a row in the opening match. Right now, he's got 5 in a row. We've got an even match. Hey, don't touch that clicker. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
This is Janie Sanchez. This is the actual phone number called by...
Put your head in the sand.
We're back at Welsh Auditorium, and you get a look at the Brunswick automatic pin setters, and there's Mike Eaton. He's the one with a sweat on his brow because 50,000 may be going out if Parker can get 6 more, or, well, no, it's 7. He's not even halfway there. So.
Well, I tell you what, I'd be getting nervous if I were Mike. Does he get 25 for half of it?
He looks happy about it.
Well, his wife just leaned over and said, honey,
do you know what this might cost?
I don't get a new dress?
Parker Bohn takes that 10-pin lead back again with 6 in a row. Can increase it back up to 20 as the players go back and forth here.
Back and forth is right. And, you know, talking about Mike, the proprietor there, he is one of the finest promoters of the game I've seen. He really does a job in this area with bowling. Well, that's a terrible way to end it, but he really had this crowd going for a while.
He's got to make this, Earl.
There's no question. You can't expect Danny Wiseman to give him any chance to get back into it if he should open, because an open would be disaster at this point, and this is not that hard to spare. He's going to try to go cross lane at it, hit the right-hand side of that 3-pin, and slide it into the 10. Excuse me, into the 7. Almost bounced it out of the pit. What a shame. What a way to end such an exciting start, but still not out of the match. Possible 266 yet for Parker Bohn the third. So, you know, Danny Wiseman still has his hands full. He's on 5 in a row. Chance to take the lead seriously in this match. See Danny Wiseman's graphic there, Mike.
18-5 with a 234 average. Gave that room.
You know, after the first match, he finished with 8 in a row, and remarkably, he said, I switched balls in the last ball in the 10th, and I'm going to use a new ball in the second game. That's what he came back and told us, yeah.
He switched balls after 8 in a row?
Switched balls after 8. Now, there's a guy with confidence.
Why?
He likes the ball reaction in the second ball better than he does the other ball. He thinks he's got a better ball reaction. And as the lanes are going through, remember, and when you did that little talk with him, he talked about the lanes will go through a transition, and I can keep up with that. If I'm paying attention, that's what he's doing. Oh, my, look at here. He got a break there, a major break. You can see what he's demonstrating there is what he did, is pulled his hand out of it. And, again, getting back to your tip, you talked about pulling your hand out of the ball and kind of falling back. We're going to look at that. Watch what he does at the foul line. Instead of that long follow-through that Danny characteristically has, he comes right up on the front of him right there. Instead, now, afterwards, it's too late. Now the ball's already down the lane. It's off his hand, and he's trying to push it down there and stay out there. Please stay out there, but it's too late.
Tough spare.
3-6-10. Cross lane here. Actually, he's not going very much cross lane. He must feel he's going to go down the oil pattern there and hook it into it. Great shot. I never would have tried that one, but he knows what he's doing out there.
Well, he played it off of his strike line, figuring he knew what the lane did there.
Not a bad career earning stat there, Mike.
Yeah.
Over $1 million.
Still a young man yet.
Still a young man yet, yeah. Got a lot going for him. He's a great athlete.
32 years old.
I love to watch him bowl. I love his game.
He has such an easygoing exterior. I asked him if this was an act or real.
Well, it's kind of an act for my fellow competitors, but really I'm easygoing, but when we get out on the lanes, I mean all business. I'm going to get out there tonight and win 3 games and go through this field and come home with this championship.
Now that's confidence, huh?
Isn't it?
I like that. Very quickly, let me give you a short story about the kind of person Parker Bohn III is. He was bowling at a regional tournament in South New Jersey, and he had made a commitment to make a quick speech at a Hall of Fame banquet in Baltimore. He drove up to Baltimore after the qualifying rounds, made the speech, found out one of the guys that was being inducted in the Hall of Fame was dying of cancer in a hospital, said, well, can I go visit him at 11 o'clock at night? They said yes. He went and visited this guy. For 40 minutes, he stayed there with this man and visited him, a man he had never met before in his life, and then drove up, got home at 1 o'clock in the morning, had to get up at 6 o'clock to finish the tournament and won the tournament. But what kind of a guy is Parker Bohn that would go to that hospital and do that? Think about it.
Well, he's a guy with a 1-pin lead right now.
He's a guy with a hell of a heart, too.
Well, we're in for an exciting 10th frame. 1 pin. Actually, I said Parker had a 1-pin lead. He has a 1-pin deficit. This could be 266 to 267 if both of them take it out. Wiseman finishes first.
It's all up to Danny. It's his to win or lose. He can strike out and shut him out. No question about it. 267 is one heck of a game.
Does he move off that 3-6-10?
I think he will. I don't think he'll move. I just think he'll make sure that he follows through.
Okay.
You know, he pulled his hand of it. He knows what the lane's going to do. I expect him to make a good shot here.
You expected right.
He's a courageous player. Both these guys are courageous players. This is the one, you know, we still have the possibility of a tie. Very, very easily could have a tie here. If Danny were to strike here and get 9, of course, Parker Bohn could strike out and we'd have a tie. If Danny gets 9 spare here.
You know, Parker could get 11 strikes in this match and lose.
Isn't that's amazing? You think about that. And look at Parker. He says, just give me a chance.
Yeah, that's all he wants is a chance. This puts him in the 260s.
He feels good about that one because it wasn't as good a shot as the one previously. His reaction was based on the 10-pin barely going down. Here's another look at that shot. Now watch Parker Bohn in the background and Danny Wiseman in the foreground. There's Parker Bohn looking. See him in the background? Danny Wiseman's reaction because he carried the 10, and Parker's reaction is, oh, man.
Couldn't he have left a 10?
What do you have to shoot around here to win, you know? All right, just shut him out. Strike here, and it's over. You think he's not pumped, huh? Oh, boy. What a competitor is Danny Wiseman. Parker Bohn to finish out the match. Possibility of 266, and you lose. Well,
he didn't want it anyway, Earl.
Didn't want it anyway.
No, he didn't want to have 11 strikes and lose. Parker Bohn, he finishes 4th. We'll be back as he converts the 6-pin to bring you the other finish